Is this one going?
I don't know.
I never know. I think it is, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
This happens every time I get so stressed out.
Every time.
And then it uploads and it's all normal and
Yeah.
fine. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Here we go.
Here we go. Cheers.
Welcome to XfadedPod.
Welcome to XfadedPod. Yeah. So today we have episode 3 talking about mermaids and sirens. I made a cute little fun mermaid drink. It's Empress gin with some lemonade and a little bit of tonic.
Nothing of mine is mermaid theme.
It's just cute though.
But we're having a good time. Look, it's a butterfly.
Cool. Well, let's just start off by saying if you're listening on podcast or on Spotify, you can find us at xfadedpod. Yeah. And you can also find us if you're listening and would prefer to watch. You can watch us on YouTube at xfadedpod.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're listening in the car, maybe Spotify's your thing, but if you're chilling at home, turn on YouTube and actually hang with us.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, honestly. Like, last week I got a lot of good feedback on, like, the YouTube video and how it was way funnier to watch us than it was to listen to us, so
yay. Very exciting. So like we said, today's theme is mermaids and sirens. That was actually voted for by you guys.
Yep.
So me and June actually low-key hated this one.
Yeah, we did. We both did. We were like, this is neither of the ones we wanted.
So if you saw, we posted it on stories. Mermaids won. And I'm like, we'll make a post. It probably won't win a second time. Literally wins a second time. How embarrassing.
So you guys really wanted this.
So we were like, all right, well, we will figure it out. So.
Which, like, I want to say also, like, I do like mermaids. I have one tattooed on me. It's just more so, like, I was more excited to talk about Mothman or Bigfoot.
I was big on Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But mermaids are really cool. You guys wanted to hear it. We are here for what you guys want to hear. So
and we'll get there. We'll get to all of them.
Yeah, we will.
So before we start with, like, the actual history and all of that, I want to ask you, do you feel that mermaids are real?
Okay, this is actually really crazy because I spent a lot of time researching this. I actually had a good time once I got started. Like, I'm like out here dissing mermaids, like, but I had a good time. Like, I genuinely, it was actually a really cool one to look into. I think a lot of the other ones were fun to look into, but because I knew so much about them, I was more so like verifying my own knowledge in some of the last ones, where it's like this one was like learning and making a stance, and I'm actually still sort of torn, but I think I would say yes.
Okay.
Like, I think at the end of the day I'd say yes. I do have a couple questions that I'll pose at the end. If you have answers, that's cool. If our viewers have answers, that's cool.
Yeah.
But those are sort of the things that I guess are standing me up from making an actual stance, but I do think my stance is that they are real.
Okay, cool. Well,
to some extent, at least.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and it's funny that we're talking about this because I went to the Science Museum yesterday and they had a Fiji mermaid on display.
No way.
Do you know what a Fiji mermaid is?
No!
Okay, so P.T. Barnum came up with a Fiji mermaid, and it's the top half of a monkey sewn onto the bottom half of a fish.
Wait, so it's fake?
It's fake, yes.
So it's like announced that it's fake. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows it's fake, but back in the day, like when P.T. Barnum was touring and he had his circus and his oddities,
right,
it was considered real because it was from Fiji, and it's really funny because it's spelled Feegee. It's like obviously not even like Fiji.
That's funny. Yeah, I would have thought Fiji.
Yeah, no, it's really funny, but it's just fortuitous that I saw it last night, and now we're talking about actual mermaids.
That is fun. That is really cool. Yeah, there were so many cool, like, images that came up during this. Like, that was one really cool thing.
I do think that that's, like, part of the draw to mermaids. It's just the imagery that comes with it, and they've been around for so long. Like, there's so much lore with mermaids.
Right.
So, like, to get
even little kids. Like, think of how many little kids are like, I want a mermaid theme party!
Yeah. It's, like, insane.
They're, like, in mermaid bathing suits. There's those tails, blanket tails, tails for the pool. Oh, my God, you should have had it. Are you kidding, June? What the heck?
My mom gave it to me like forever ago. I don't even know where it is. But yeah, I have a mermaid tail blanket. It's
Alright,
cozy.
well, guess what, you guys? Next time I'm at June's, we're finding this thing and she's wearing it on a random episode for you guys.
I want to be where the people are.
I
know, seriously. Okay, so I have a little bit of history, as always. I love to get into the historical side of things. So, to me, mermaids are real. There's too much of the ocean that has been undiscovered for me to say that no, like they're not.
Right.
So I truly do believe, and I buy that because, fun fact, only 5% of the ocean has been explored. So the ocean is the largest living space on our planet and covers nearly 70% of Earth's surface. So that is why, to me, it makes the most sense that mermaids do exist. Do I think that they look like the Little Mermaid? Probably not. I would guess that realistically they're probably deep sea creatures that are ugly. Right? Like, they're probably like all of those light things.
Coming from someone that had red hair for multiple years, there's no way in hell that she could maintain that shit.
Exactly.
Even real gingers, like, I mean, she's not depicted as a real ginger. A real ginger would probably look good, but I don't even know how, like, blonde hair in water for such a long time can get that green tinge. Like, I don't know that I actually believe that it would look like that.
But yeah, that's why I say I think they're probably deep sea creatures, and deep sea creatures are typically pretty ugly creatures.
Well, and obviously we're here on Earth where we don't want to look at ugly things, so they have to make them look good.
Glamorized.
We could not accept it any other way out here, so...
Alright, well, the other thing that I found was the first appearance of mermaids in human culture seems to have occurred around 1000 BC in Assyria, which is Syria or like northern Iraq today. And in the mythology of Assyria, the beautiful fertility goddess, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name.
Wait, let me see, I'll try.
Atargatis.
Atargatis, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably that.
Became a mermaid after casting herself into a lake. So, like, this is a pretty consistent story for mermaids, is that, like, they just throw themselves in the lake and become this mystical creature. And mermaids have been in every single culture. Like, every single one. It is
interesting. I had some from a few different countries, which I found...
Yeah. And
interesting.
That's the thing, is like mermaid lore is in every single culture on the planet. That's why, again, to me, it's like it has to be real.
To some extent.
To some extent. And like there are people that have like debunked it by saying that it was manatees or like Christopher Columbus had seasickness and that's why, but like to me, like, because it's consistently popped up over and over
because then the opposite side here for you guys is when people are like, oh, you know, people at sea for a long time, they're looking and they start imagining things because they're hallucinating and people make all this stuff up. They're alone, and so there's all this stuff of like why these could be like fakely seen and fakely made up. But I did see some very interesting like depictions and stuff of them. Like you said, a lot of them. Some of them were like sort of bald, but with like sort of gray hair in the back or something that sort of could look like a girl or something. Yeah. And then it was very like just like a fish, like gray and slime, like very fish-like. They're in a lot of the research, they're not actually depicted the way that we see them. Specifically sirens, because these are two...
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. Yeah. Like, they're completely two different mythical creatures, and not a lot of people know that. So, like, sirens are typically depicted as, like, female head, bird body.
Yes.
And mermaids are typically depicted as half human, half fish.
Right.
So, like, it's funny because I see so many tattoos that are, like, reverse mermaids where the fish half is on top and it's just, like, lady legs. It's really funny.
Oh, my God. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's really funny. I honestly, like, I think it's a joke tattoo, but it's really funny to me because it's a reverse mermaid.
Oh, my God. That's hysterical. So I had a lot of crazy stuff from this. I'm just gonna, go through it a little with everybody, see what June thinks, see what you guys think, tell you some of what I think. So the first thing that I, found, this is interesting, it's the first thing I found, because it's the first thing I wanted to tell you guys, is that according to Greek mythology, sirens are actually predatory creatures. Like, they're listed as predators. So I thought that was interesting. And they obviously go after fishermen, boaters, and they have these enchanting voices. A lot of times it's said to be like their voice is this lure, it's this like high, like really apparently a tone you can't you really don't want to
dogs?
look away from.
Like
yeah.
for dogs.
Yeah, it's like apparently like the human equivalent
Oh my God,
to
that's
that.
so funny. Yeah.
And so what I thought was weird with that though, just with the whole thing, is we're talking about how they look slightly different, right? One's ugly, one's maybe pretty or something. Well, so then like there's the whole, like the Little Mermaid, like she gets her voice stolen, and then that other girl is sort of ugly.
I'm glad that you brought up the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid, actually, if you've ever read the grim tale of it, is very grim. So in the original Little Mermaid, the prince does not choose her, and the sea witch cuts her fin so that she can walk on land, and every step feels like she's stepping on glass. And he still does not choose her at the end, and she turns into sea foam. How fucked up is that?
That's so upsetting.
Like, honestly, I've read it. It's literally depressing. I think it's a German tale, but, like, it is so sad. It is not the Little Mermaid that you know and love. It is truly, like, horrifying. And, like, we could talk more about the Brothers Grimm stories because that's something that, like...
Yeah, those are cool. I don't actually know. I haven't, like, read the Little Mermaid one of it, but I do know some of the others.
Yeah, that one's real messed up. Like, the Brothers Grimm stories are all messed up, but, like, that one specifically is, like, pretty hardcore.
So... basically then, what it's known that these, like, sirens will do is they'll use their voice to cause sailors to shipwreck. And they're usually found on, like, rocks near, like, mid-islands. Like, if you're fishing, you'll come across, like, something that's not really, like, a super, like, livable place. Like, it's not like a... but it's, like, a place you could stop, you know, if you're, like, a fisherman. You come across, like, a small island that... it's pretty just depleted.
It's just not, like, desolate.
Yeah, it's just, like, it's so small, like, people, you couldn't live there, you know what I mean? It's like, you came across a big boulder that has some grass on top of it. I don't know. But, so, basically, yeah, so then the mermaids versus sirens thing. So sirens have always carried a more sinister reputation, and people have claimed that they're the bird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is the like,
I wonder
look.
if I can find a picture of it so I
Yeah.
can show the YouTube.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Keep talking while I find it.
Cool. And then the mermaids are obviously the half human, half fish, as we know. Sirens and mermaids. Okay, so the one thing is sirens are so... sirens are very, like sinister. They're sort of evil. Mermaids are never depicted that way. Mermaids have never been... like, don't let this ruin
this is a
your...
sculpture of one.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
That thing is like... oh, God. That thing is... it's, like, horrifying.
Oh.
But yeah, you can see that it was very obviously, like, bird woman.
Yes. So...
just gonna keep looking at these
They're
things.
so
They're
ugly.
so bad.
If you look up any of this stuff, it's all really ugly.
It's so bad.
If you look on TikTok and look up, like, some of these, honestly, we can probably do one. We
Yeah,
should do a TikTok
we could.
showing you how ugly some of these
Here's
are.
like a prettier looking one, I guess, but, like, still kind of horrific.
It's only pretty because it's, like, animated. It's
Yeah.
not real. The others were more real looking.
Yeah, this is definitely more
Alright,
like
we're
that.
absolutely making a TikTok after this, so stay tuned for all the ugly photos of this episode.
What is happening?
I don't know, it's so much hair.
Okay,
So siren songs are like enchanting, serenading, like I was saying, so everyone they can't get away from it, and the legend states that anyone who refuses or resists a siren song shall die. It's just irky. And then I watched this video. This was actually really weird. This dude was, like, in the middle of the ocean. He's in a kayak. No one's around at all. He's, like, showing all the angles. He's recording. And there's this high-pitched noise. And this is why he starts recording. Like, not with the intention of, like, oh my god, like this, like, I don't even think he thought that there was anything it could be at this point. I think he was just, like, really weird. Like, as if you went outside and, like, the whole sky is, like, brown. You would be like, what is going on? Well, I was going to say pink, orange, and then I'm like, well, sometimes it is that color. So I'm like, I would actually be concerned if it was, like, brown.
Or green.
Yeah, seriously. So basically that's why he started this recording, and then shortly after this, like, pretty quickly, his kayak, it's like a little hole in it, like a tiny hole.
Like from a bird claw.
Like we don't know how, and it's just slowly laying in water. So he goes back, he leaves immediately, thank God. See, this is
how long ago was this?
This was like decently recent. Like this was like some dude online decently recently. Like this is not like an old tale, you know what I mean? Like a lot, because I have a couple
like
old
kayaks are not really old.
Right,
like they're like plastic.
Right, yeah, it was plastic. And he had like a smartphone, you know what I mean? Like this is like,
all right.
This is like current day, this happened. And so, whatever, he didn't look into it anymore until he got home. He obviously thought more about it and stuff, but he turned back, he just went back to shore. He did he make it, no, he made it back. It wasn't a problem.
He resisted the song. I'm shook.
He did. I mean, so it is like, are all of that true? Was it? I don't know. Was it just someone that made up a video? It didn't really seem like it because you'd think that he would want to more work and not just laugh probably immediately. Right. But whatever. I just thought that was just sketchy. Like it was just a sketchy thing that like some random person did have a video of hearing this noise and then like shortly after having like a slight issue on the water, like could have gone with it. Maybe he ran into something. Who knows? Maybe something happened. But it's also interesting to me, I think, that, like, you know, you can't go to beaches after dark. Like that's like a...
Sunset is always, like, the end of the...
And it's like, I get it. Like, you don't want someone to drown and you can't see them. Like, I guess that's the whole premise behind it, but...
Well, when I was in Mexico, the reason it was, like, no one on the beach after dark was because the turtles were laying their eggs.
I love sea turtles.
I do, too, but that was so random for me to throw in. It was just more so, like... You mentioned it and I thought of it.
And so in other like places, in other countries, there's been like reports, like I said, of siren type things before too. Haitian and Jamaican sirens are known to make deals with you in exchange for something that they want.
That kind of is voodoo-esque, which like makes sense. It comes from Haiti.
Well, it's also, you know what I find really interesting just about that? Like crows. If you leave something out for crows every day, they'll bring you things. And they start to bring you better and better things the longer that you do it. And that's just known about crows. Like, people have just said that over the years. And so it's like, if this is a human bird thing, it's interesting that this would be a very similar theory to what, like, a bird already does, I thought.
Right.
But... So, yeah, so they do that. So they might do it with salt, food, and object. They might even do it with your child. And they've been known to make deals that you can see your kid again, but they'll make sure you're mute and cannot speak of what's going on.
Perfect.
Now, see, like, this sounds creepy, but also it starts to be like, is this believable? And then it's like, to me, there is a speckle of, like, something here. No, why are all these people talking about it? It's fake?
Yeah,
like,
again, it's in every single culture.
Right. Like, it's that's what I think is weird. It's like, right, would all of these people talk about it if it was fully fake?
Right, exactly. Like, like I said, it's very voodoo-esque, which is where, like, voodoo originates from is Haiti, so, like, that makes a lot of sense to me, why it would be, like, that type of lore.
Right. Well, and so then next part here...
I feel like also, sorry to cut you off, I feel like the other thing, too, with voodoo is that it's always a trade-off.
Yes.
So, like, voodoo mermaid, voodoo siren is just gonna take your shit and be like, bye.
Okay, this next part, I'm gonna try to explain it to you guys in a chill way.
In a chill way.
I was reading and watching a lot of stuff, and because I didn't read this book and I didn't know about this book, I felt like uneducated about everything I was reading. I was so confused. So I want to make sure it gets presented to you in a way that you don't need to read this book. I will preface this by saying the book is called The Book of Enoch.
Oh, I've read the Book of Enoch.
You've read it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, apparently in this book they reference all of these things, but one of the things they reference is that fallen angels, they wanna leave where they are and have lives like men on earth, right? So that's like something that they feel, I guess, these fallen angels. Hold on, wait till we get a little bit in so these people can understand it.
Got it.
If they don't understand it. Because otherwise they're all like me researching it and they're confused because you're talking.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, so they wanted these fallen angels, right? So fallen angels, we understand that. They wanted to leave where they are, up not on earth, and they want to have lives like the men on earth. God then explained to them, they're celestial, spiritual beings, and they don't need wives. So then at some point they would go to earth, right? And so when they went, all of these fallen angels had a pact that they weren't going to listen, and they were going to get themselves women as wives and have kids with them. And those children were giants or go ahead, what is called? Nephim, something like this, but...
Helium.
Yep. So I was not good at saying that.
No, it's okay.
But so that's another word for giants. I'm going to use giants because I'm more comfortable with that. But okay, so those children were giants, right? And so those giants were super destructive. They were bad, and God wanted to wipe them all out. He was like, these people suck. We need to get them out of here. We need to wipe them clean. So then when the angels found out that God knew what they did, they were scared, they're stressing, they're terrified. They're like, we don't know what God is going to do. So then God took them and locked them away. And hell actually came from this idea. So hell was never truly meant for people, but for fallen angels who then did something bad. So basically, because what would happen was he wiped the giants off Earth, but then there was no room there was nowhere for their souls to go, and he didn't want them in heaven or hell. And so then what happened was they would become demonic spirits that would roam the earth. Okay, so that's what happens. We understand that this is now the giants that then got turned into these evil spirits that roam the earth. But so now you're like, okay, well, what about the women, right? There was women that had sex with these fallen angels, right? They became sirens. That's the theory. That's what it said. Now we can talk all about the book because you guys don't need to understand the book anymore. I don't know that I still understand the book, but that's what the book was letting us know about sirens specifically.
So, fun fact, the Book of Enoch is actually part of the Satanic Bible. Not the Satanic Temple's Bible, but the Church of Satan's Bible.
Okay.
There are two different sects of Satanism, and yes, I do know this. So the Book of Enoch is interesting because Enoch itself, the word means dark, like night.
I should have looked further into the Enoch thing, but I was so pissed off that I didn't understand it.
No,
I
was
cool.
So yeah, the Book of Enoch is very much about how the angels end up in hell. And that's where Lucifer Morningstar comes from. The original fallen angel, who is the devil, is the original fallen angel. So this is totally believable for me because I know this stuff. This is something that's very much interesting to me. I'm a Satanist. I don't adhere to the Church of Satan, but I have read the Church of Satan's Bible, and the Book of Enoch is in that Bible. So really interesting that came up because I didn't expect it.
It is really interesting. Honestly, I'm just thrilled that you knew about it because at least someone knew about it and everyone that talked about it did know about it. So I was a little stressed that I was going to be telling people about it when I didn't even get it.
Right.
But I think the positive was, hopefully, regardless of if you guys knew about the Book of Enoch or not, I made the story really simple for you so that you could understand how sirens relate to the whole thing.
You definitely did, because that Book of Enoch is very, very intense language.
Yeah, I have one thing from it. Oh, I actually screenshotted this. So it was from Book of Enoch, chapter 19, 1-2. And Uriel said to me, "Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women and their spirits, assuming many different forms, and defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray, and sacrificing to demons as gods. Here they shall stand till the day of great judgment, in which they shall be judged, till they are made an end of, and the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens." So that was literally the word for word what it said, but the weird part to me, just... why the fuck did the person's name have to be Uriel? Uriel. One letter different than Ariel. Really? Really? Like, no one was talking about that online. It's just me. I'm the only one talking about it. But I feel that sketch. I was like, really?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, Anton LaVey, who wrote, like, the Church of Satan's Bible, was kind of a rip-off artist.
Okay. I feel most people are.
Yeah, I mean, like, nothing's really original anymore. Let's be realistic.
Right.
Like, to be fair, he definitely created an organization that people, like, adhere to, and that's cool.
Right.
To me, as a member of the Satanic Temple, I feel that, like, it's kind of like a popularity club over at the Church of Satan. So, like, yeah, I can see that.
Oh my god. Well,
yeah, he probably ripped off the name, is what I was trying to get to.
So, then this other just, like, sort of gross thing that you don't think about after that. People that seen them, they claim that these creatures, I don't know, like, what you're thinking in your head if you're like, oh, they're obviously the same height as me. Like, these are, people have claimed 10 to 14 feet tall.
Like the fish version or the bird version?
The in the ocean version.
Okay. I mean, that's believable to me, too, because, like, look at how ginormous whales are.
Right.
Oh my god,
but it's like...
that you sent me.
Oh my god, I need to share the whale facts with everyone.
We need to share the whale facts. Like, literally, that's all I can think of right now is the whale facts are so fucking funny.
But you would also assume that if a creature is that long, like, I can imagine how people die, dude. You hear the noise, you think, okay, oh, everything's fine. Then this little, maybe innocent-looking thing sort of plops up on your boat. All right, maybe you still think not a big deal. It looks like an innocent thing. It's 14 foot long. It's bigger than your old boat. It could knock everyone over. Like,
well, that's why I said, like, I feel like if mermaids were going to be real, they're probably deep sea, because, like, they're probably like the anglerfish that has like the thing. Yeah. You know? So, like, they have like this thing that looks like an innocent, like, young woman, like, help me, I'm in distress, and then it's just like, bye. Yeah. So yeah, like, yeah, that imagery was not great to think about, but
I hope you guys all got that picture too. Wait, so then this other thing that just is like, well, they have to be real to some extent. This is how, like, they have to be real to some extent, but I have questions of, like, the Navy actually has paperwork about underwater civilizations, and people are saying AKA, like,
Atlantis.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
And they're saying that there's knowledge of, like, actual, like life activity.
Yeah.
Like, like, not just like, oh, there is a civilization, like, where everyone is gone and it was there many years ago. Like, they act like it's a true civilization that is functioning.
Dude, I love conspiracy theories because there's so many layers to, like, pick apart. Like I said, Atlantis, that's a completely different thing, but, like...
We'll have to do an episode.
Oh, man, that would be so cool.
Atlantis is cool.
I liked Atlantis. Actually, that's honestly my favorite Disney movie.
Is it?
Yeah, I loved Atlantis.
Aww.
I was like a little nerd.
Okay, so I have a few questions. I don't know who they're for. If you have answers, that's cool. If you viewers have answers.
Let's go.
Okay, so, like, why haven't more people seen these?
Okay, so, like, when I was looking into this, I've seen a lot of, like, TikToks, a lot of things that, like, people have shown video evidence of. Like, granted, take that with a grain of salt because...
Everything, there's AI. Like,
yes,
how do you know anything? That's how I felt. I was seeing videos, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to talk about these because...
Right, because it's hard to believe them because of the AI situation. Like, we could do a whole episode on AI, too. Oh yeah. God, that would be insane. But yeah, so, like, I don't know. I feel like there's probably somewhere video evidence of it, but like I said, I think it's a deep sea thing because the deep sea is not very well discovered. Like, it is, right. It is very, very vast. It's very, very unknown.
Right, and it's like people die going down there, and you can't be down there very long, and tanks will only keep it so long, and vessels implode. It's like...
The ocean is so fascinating to me, specifically like the deep sea. Like, it's so interesting and terrifying at the same time. Like, very, very scary, real life things. And like... It's not been discovered, and I don't know, it's just so weird to me, like, what lives beyond the depths.
You think it could be discovered? Like, I don't even think it could be discovered. Like, I think it's just, we accept it.
Well, it's wild to me, too, that, like, more of outer space has been discovered than...
See, that's why I don't believe it, though. Because I believe in the ocean, Mo. I see the ocean.
Yeah,
I fully believe in the ocean. So, if the ocean has been here longer and it's more accessible... How are people...
Accessible but not accessible. Have you ever heard of the bends? When people go scuba diving and come up too quickly, they can die. It's because the oxygen in your blood is put under so much pressure that if they come up too quickly, they have to go in this whole sensory tank because the bubbles in their blood will explode.
I don't know if it's the fire sign in me or what, but I don't know if it's a fire sign in me or what, but I have no interest in scuba diving. I have no interest in going down there. It doesn't sound fun. Nothing. I mean, I don't know how many episodes we have to do like this. Last time I would not go on a boat. It doesn't sound fun. Now I'm I would not even touch the water. It doesn't sound fun.
You have gone in the water, but it's usually fresh water. You're not...
Even that though, I almost died that one time I went in the water. I was drowning. Yeah, but I'm not even the type to drown. I'm not being dramatic. It was just I got in one of those areas that you can't get out that easily type thing. You
get stuck in the undertow.
Yeah. So it wasn't my fault that I was drowning. I don't want you guys to think I'm a bad swimmer or something. I won the treading contest, so really I would have been fine.
I'm actually not a good swimmer, but I love the ocean. The bottom half of my leg sleeve is all ocean. So I mean, I guess that's the thing is
I would rather interact with lions than sea creatures.
I love the ocean. I think that it's so fascinating and it's so weird. It's so weird. Think about octopus. They're so weird. They're so smart. It's unreal. Could you imagine if maybe people thought that mermaids were actually just octopus?
I don't know.
They're so smart. They're so smart. They can solve puzzles and shit, and they're so smart. They're such smart creatures.
What are they doing down there?
I don't know. They're all just hanging out.
They gotta be doing something, dude.
Do you know that the plural of octopus is
octopi?
Octopuses? No, octopuses. It's because, no, I'm dead ass. It's because octopi would mean it was Latin, and it's not. It's a Greek word.
Oh.
That's why it's octopuses, because you can't put a Latin ending on a Greek word.
Pussies. So weird. Wait, okay. So then this is my next question.
Okay.
What happens when mermaids or sirens die?
Well, just like anything in the deep ocean, it just decomposes.
It never makes it ever, not once.
Well,
they never make it up.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is the thing is a lot of cephalopods like that, a lot of deep sea animals just sink to the bottom of the ocean, and all the bacteria.
And one has never died trying to sing to a guy.
Not if they're in the deep sea.
Yeah, but if they're singing to people.
That's fair. I mean, also up until Jesus, do you remember when the sturgeon came out of the lake? Oh my god, that was when I was in high school. There was a whole ass sturgeon that came out of the lake.
What's a sturgeon?
A sturgeon is a really old prehistoric, almost dinosaur fish. I'm gonna look it up because it came out of our lake.
Here?
Yeah, here. Isn't that wild?
No way.
Yeah, no, it literally came out of our lake. Tiva, this happened. It was on our...
That's really weird.
Yeah, it was on our beach. And they're huge. Look at them. And up until recently, no one has seen these things. They were thought to be extinct.
Oh, so you think that maybe it'll just take a really long time to get here?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, and so then what about, this is probably the same answer from you then. So fishermen catch sharks on accident, never mermaids?
I think same thing. Maybe we don't understand what an actual mermaid's supposed to look like, so...
Right.
There have been things that are caught that are, unexplained. It's, really strange. I've watched so many ocean documentaries, it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. I used to fall asleep to them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They are,
soothing?
Yeah, sort of, because it's, not... in some ways I do like crime shows, but then it is, if you watch a crime show and it's, a break-in, then you might, actually fear about that because you are in a house and you could get broken into, but, you have nothing to do with the ocean, so even if it's really weird...
especially not us. We live near a lake, not an ocean.
Right, so. I don't know, unless you, live near the ocean and you're nervous about something, it's sort of well, the ocean isn't really a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so this last one's interesting. So we make a lot of money off sea creatures, right? With like SeaWorld and all those type of places.
Not so much anymore.
But we did for a long time,
being
right?
Humane, yeah.
Why did we trapped poor, sad little whales and manatees?
So
Why
sad.
would we not get a siren or a mermaid? Why wouldn't we want to show it to people?
I think they're incredibly hard to find.
You think that these manatees and shit are not hard to find?
They're in Florida. They're all just chilling. There's a
What about
manatee.
that Free Willy looking one?
Oh, the orca.
Those are so sad.
I know, it's so sad to see. But I still think that those are still more common. Like, these have been sighted all over the world, every culture, throughout history. And I just think that it's probably incredibly hard to, A, catch one because they're sentient. Like, they're humanoid.
Well,
So,
and then then we put fake ones. We're like, look
The
at these
Fiji-
mermaids.
Fiji mermaid. Yeah, people have been fascinated with mermaids and sirens for eternity. It's, like, truly fascinating because, like, that's why I think that, like, yeah, they have to exist in some way, shape,
Right.
or form. I'm just not saying that it has to be necessarily the fish woman theory or the bird woman theory because, like,
Right.
I feel like you'd have to be slightly dumb to believe
I
that,
think
right?
it's sad,
Like, I don't
the
know.
sea animals.
Dude, I know.
Oh, June.
Did you watch the documentary Blackfish?
Oh, that stuff makes me so
It
sad.
was very
like,
sad.
I
I
can't
think
do
I
it.
cried. I think I cried. But like I said, I'm fascinated by the ocean.
I went to one of those shows when I was
So
little.
did I.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I
And
hated
did you
it.
volunteer?
I tried to. I was scared.
Oh my god, my mom told me to volunteer, and I'm like, I don't want to. And she's like, raise your hand, you always get picked for stuff. And I'm like, no, this is why I don't want to raise my hand. I'm like, exactly, I would get picked, and then it's, I don't want to be up there. What if something happens to me?
Out there, what if he eats me?
Like, sometimes stuff happens.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
know.
what if it's just not, what if he's not having a good day? Like, I don't even know
I'm having
him.
a good day. I don't even know him.
It's sort of how I feel about meeting a celebrity. It's like, in a way, it's like it's cool, right? Like, to be like, oh, I met a celebrity. What the fuck are you even saying to them?
Right.
Like, you're friends, you walk up to them, you have something to say. What are you saying to this random celebrity? And then is what you're saying even impactful, or do they hear it all the fucking time? Oh my god, I love your
Wait,
music.
what would you
Yeah,
say?
so does everyone.
What would you
Like,
say to a mermaid if you saw one?
I would be embarrassed.
You'd
I would leave. I would leave.
I think I would just
I'd say
be like-
pretend we never met.
I would just be like, hey, Ariel, what's up?
And then, like, do they even speak English, right?
And that's the other thing that, like, I'm slightly concerned about is, like, if they speak, like, how do they speak? Like, we hear about the fact that they sing, but, like, what do they sing? Other than this, like, high-pitched, like, only people can hear it kind of thing.
I know. And then it's so weird, too, because they must not really speak, or how did they learn language? Because if they're in Haiti and Jamaica and,
Right.
like, if they're in other parts of the world, like
Maybe.
Asia and China, like what?
Maybe they have their own little fish language.
It almost is like they would, like,
They would have to.
yeah.
They would
And
have
it wouldn't
to.
be what we're up to.
No, it's not what we're up to.
And they probably
Absolutely
think
not.
that we're weird. You know, I stumbled across this really weird thing. So this woman, it came up when I was looking at this siren and mermaid stuff, and like I just was gonna leave it out. I purposely didn't write about it because it was just sort of weird. But it sort of is interesting to what you said earlier of the walking on glass thing.
Yeah.
Say that again, what you said.
So,
earlier.
in the Brothers Grimm tale of The Little Mermaid, the sea witch cuts her fin in half and to create the legs, but like it's really just two fins. but
Right.
Every step feels like her walking on glass.
Okay, so this was this woman. It was in another country. I don't remember what country because I didn't write it down. She didn't have a lot of money, so they could, and there wasn't really like medical care, so she couldn't really look into this. But her skin had this like really weird condition where like it was like painful to be not in water. And so she would literally like go and spend all day, all night in the water. She would like be out there all the time. Her family came and visited her. Like she stayed by the shore and everything. But then it makes you think like was something like
Maybe the demon
wrong?
possessed her.
Like did something happen?
Maybe the demon possessed her because she, in another life, had sex with a like giant.
Right.
And she became a mermaid.
Or did she, like, at a young age get thrown up here and, like, wasn't supposed to be?
Yeah.
And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, like, you don't really know, but that was just, like, a really weird thing that I came across. I don't know how much you guys want to believe. Some of this is, like...
speculation.
And fairy tale and folklore. It's, like, very hard to say, and...
Yeah, it's hard to, like, put facts behind it just because it is mostly lore.
Right.
But I do think that, like, we wouldn't still be talking about mermaids if there wasn't some speck of truth in there.
Right. There has to be something. It just might be...
It might not be what we think, like,
right.
traditionally. Like, that's what I was saying earlier, is that, like, it might not be a half fish, half person. It
right.
could be something that does not look exactly like a mermaid, but, like, that's what people could comprehend.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
like, do I think it could be a deep-sea animal? For sure. Do I think that, like, mermaids do exist? Absolutely, because there's so much of the ocean that's not been discovered.
And honestly, if you're a mermaid pro, a siren pro, you know more than us. You are an extensive scuba diver and want to tell us all about your journey.
I took scuba diving classes. Did I tell you that?
Really?
Yeah. A long time ago. But it was cool. I mean, I was just in, like, a little kiddie pool of salt water. But
would you actually scuba?
I've snorkeled.
See, this is freaking me out. I gotta hide.
Oh,
I'm like,
she's like,
get
no,
away from me. Oh.
I would. I would if, I would. I would 100%. I would scuba. I've snorkeled. It was really, really fun to snorkel. It's just kind of more above water. You're looking down.
Oh, I mean, I would
like
snorkel.
the thing you can breathe through is
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I definitely drank a ton of salt water when I did that, though, because I'd, like, breathed in and I was on the water.
Oh, I used to practice. I had one in my pool at home.
In the pool at home?
I need to know. I need to be prepared.
Did you ever play mermaids when you were a kid, like, in the pool?
What do you mean play mermaids?
Like, me and my sister were like, we're mermaids. I was a weird kid, okay?
That's funny.
Yeah, we used to pretend to be mermaids. It was funny. We would swim in my grandma's pool and we would be like mermaids. It was funny. Yeah, we were weird kids.
I love that. Wait, did you watch Aquamarine?
Yes, I've watched pretty much every mermaid movie you could possibly watch.
Drop your favorite mermaid movie in the comments.
I think there's a couple horror movies that are, like, based off of mermaids. I think there's a Sirens one. Maybe we should watch that today. That'd be cool.
You should check that out.
That'd be cool. We tried to watch a mermaid documentary last week and we just could not find one.
Yeah, it was a horrible experience.
It was really, like, tough. It was tough out here. So I guess, in the comments, let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know. Do you believe in mermaids? Do you believe in sirens? Do you think they're the same thing? What do you think of the bird fiasco thing?
Fiasco!
See, this is what doesn't add up to me about the bird thing is, like, what do you mean? Like, they're supposed to be a sea creature. How are they bird? Birds don't go underwater. How are they breathing?
Well, some birds do. Like, albatross go underwater to catch
I
fish.
guess.
Yeah.
I get, but they don't live there.
Yeah, fair.
And then it's like, why are the fishermen involved with them?
I think, like, seabirds have also always had some lore to them.
Sort of like that seagull in Ariel that she was friends with.
Yes. What was his name?
I know.
Look it up, dude.
Oh my
But yeah, I mean, like I said, albatross are, like, very mystical, like, birds that consistently
Isn't it
come
like
up.
Scully or something?
Oh my god, it's so weird.
What was his name? Scuttle.
Scuttlebutt. But yeah, we should watch that movie. There's like a Sirens one that's like spooky.
Alright, let's check it out.
You know I'm about spooky.
We'll post all about it on the story.
I'm wearing my Stay Spooky sweatshirt.
We love it.
We do love it. Alright, yeah, so let us know in the comments if you believe, if you don't believe, why not, and if you're looking to find us on Instagram, it is at xfadedpod. If you're looking to find Tiva, her Instagram handle is at TivaTokes. If you're looking to find me, June, you can find me at Gin and Ghouls. And we have kind of an idea of what we want to do next week. I'm thinking we want to do Denver International Airport, and this is one that I am obsessed with. I've gone very deep down the rabbit hole on this, so hope you like that. If you have anything that you want us to talk about next week on the Denver International Airport, let us know. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next time. This has been Crossfaded.
Woo! Thanks for joining us.
Cheers me.
Oh my god, man.
Are you faded? I'm
faded.